All right, so let us now talk about something a little different. It still is a topic that I talk about on this channel, but in a different format. This is more of a drama channel type content, but again, it's still a topic that I usually cover on this channel. And that is Daniel Radcliffe's response to J.K. Rowling. For those who don't know, J.K. Rowling has gone from beloved children's author of Harry Potter to a rampant transphobe who can't seem to do anything else but to shit on trans people because she hates men. She was sexually assaulted, which is not a funny thing. I'm not going to make fun of her for that. And I'm sure that has a lasting effect. But what does that have to do with trans men? Or trans women, for that matter? It doesn't. Because they weren't the ones who did the deed. It was a cis man. So yes, Daniel Radcliffe has once again in an interview talked about about J.K. Rowling's comments. So let's get to the article. Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe, who is starring in the Broadway production of Merrily We Roll Along, has spoken out against J.K. Rowling's anti-trans comments she has made online, which is a lot. All right, Daniel Radcliffe has opened up about J.K. Rowling's comments about the trans community. Her main star, who played the famous wizard in the film series, has commented in a new interview. Speaking to The Atlantic about his current role in the Broadway production of Merrily We Roll Along, Radcliffe said, "It makes me really sad, ultimately, because I do look at the person that I met, the times that we met, and the books that she wrote, and the world that she created, and all of that to me is so deeply emphatic. I can talk. Empathic. Wow. Empathic. Why is that a hard word? He confirmed that he had not had any contact with Rowling since she began making the comments and added that he would continue to support the rights of all LGBTQ people. Radcliffe also responded to accusations that he was being ungrateful to Rowling for opposing her views. What the hell? Dude, he got his start playing Harry Potter, which was written by her. But he shouldn't criticize her ever about anything? Because of that? What? That sounds dangerously like the parent who thinks because they gave birth to you that they gave you life, that you can never, ever, ever criticize them for anything ever. No, you do shitty things regardless of what you did for me. Anyway, let's see what he says. "Joe, obviously Harry Potter would not have happened without her, so nothing in my life would have probably happened the way it is without that person. But that doesn't mean that you owe the things you truly believe to someone else for your entire life." Exactly. This is not the first time Radcliffe has addressed Rowling's comments. In 2020, he expressed his lack of association with her views and defended the trans community in an essay he wrote for the Trevor Project, an organization focused on suicide prevention among the LGBTQ+ community. In the essay, Radcliffe referenced Rowling, writing, "Transgender women are women. Any statement to the contrary erases the identity and dignity of transgender people and goes against all advice given by professional healthcare associations who have far more expertise on this subject matter than either Joe or I. Exactly. If for nothing else, the people who know better, the experts, are saying that this is a thing. So, and these are the people, and what do trans folks have? Their supposed basic biology, which they think trumps everything. Because they seem to think that basic biology is all the biology that needs to be known ever. Or something. Anyway. As for Rowling, the author of the best-selling Harry Potter series has continued to double down on her anti-trans sentiments and has continued to receive significant backlash for what many perceive to be anti-trans comments. Well, that's because they are anti-trans. You know, when this whole thing started and she started saying anti-trans things, I really think that she was still at a teachable moment phase where you could have gotten through to her, but because she got such a backlash, a lot of people will, instead of taking that backlash and thinking, maybe I'm wrong, because of how the backlash hits, it just makes you dig in your heels. So it's possible at the very beginning that she was actually persuadable. But because of the reaction she got, that just led her down the road of increasing hatred. Because she wrote freaking Harry Potter. I mean, that is a whole book series about finding your community, finding a place where you belong. And she I'm starting to think that she made Dumbledore gay out of the blue just to prepare everyone for the moment when she shit on trans people. So people would think that she's actually more open-minded than she is. I'm starting to wonder that. It just hit me. Because why else out of the blue would she make Dumbledore gay? I mean, But like I said, at the very beginning, she might have been persuadable. Earlier this month, Rowling responded to the comments made by both Radcliffe and his Harry Potter co-star Emma Watson in defense of the trans community. For those who don't watch any of the Harry Potter movies, Emma Watson was one of the child wizards. I'm not going to go into any more detail because if you've never read Harry Potter, you probably don't care anyway. The author wrote on X, celebs who cozied up to a movement intent on eroding women's hard-won rights and who use their platforms to cheer on the transitioning of minors can save their apologies for traumatized transitioners and vulnerable women reliant on single-sex spaces. Okay. Oh my God. All right. Let's unpack that one. First off, apologies to who? I mean, nobody is saying that people don't detransition. There are multiple reasons for that. It could be that they actually made a mistake and realized that they weren't trans, which does happen. It's not a significant percentage, but it does happen. Okay. But there are also a lot of people who detransition because they're in a shitty environment where people are, horrible to them for transitioning to begin with, because there's obviously something wrong with them doing that. And so instead of fighting it, instead of leaving that toxic environment, they decide, okay, it would just be easier if I detransition. Okay? Now, vulnerable women reliant on single sex spaces. I'm assuming she's talking about herself here as well, because, like I said, she was sexually assaulted. But again, it wasn't a trans woman who assaulted you. Cis, I shouldn't say cis, a cis man attacked you, not a trans woman. And this is where she just cannot grasp it. We are not talking about biology. Just because this person was born with a penis does not mean they're going to want to bone every woman they see. If that's your view of men, that I then you have some deep-seated trauma here. And you should be going to therapy instead of vomiting your views on the internet. And I mean that sincerely. I'm not trying to be flippant. She needs therapy. She needs serious therapy if that's what she thinks. Because, yes, there are men who prey on women. Obviously, that's true. But we are not talking about men. We are talking about trans women. They see themselves as women. Now, are some of those women lesbians? Absolutely. But they're no more likely to attack a woman than any other lesbian. Because you cannot think all men attack women. Because that is a mentality you have to have for this thing to work. Now obviously, if you've been traumatized by someone with a penis, you probably don't want to see a penis. And that is fully understandable. But, and this is a big thing, I doubt she goes into locker rooms, which is the only place that she could potentially see it. Because if she goes to the women's restroom, she's in a stall. She's not seeing a male penis. So that doesn't work. And as for any other spaces, I honestly have no idea what other spaces there are that she feels that she needs. Because I just don't know. Anyway, also this year, transgender journalist and reality TV personality India Willoughby reported Rowling to police for misgendering her. Oh yeah, there's now a rule on in Scotland. There's a law about misgendering people is a form of hate speech, which isn't necessarily wrong. I mean, obviously, innocent mistakes do happen. But when you're dealing with the poster child for transphobia, I'm going to say that wasn't done as an innocent mistake. I'm not familiar with Scotland law, I just know that much. So maybe it's not as bad as that people are making it out to be. But my understanding is that, there's a difference between obviously wanting to hurt a person by misgendering them, and then there is an innocent mistake. Because let's face it, some people look androgynous. So you really don't know. So, yeah, innocent mistakes happen. Rowling responded in a series of posts on social media, writing, "In my view, India is a classic example of the male narcissist who lives in a state of perpetual rage that he can't compel women to take him at his own valuation." Are you absolutely kidding me? You're blaming the victim. Seriously. I mean, India is not male. Well, actually, India is male. But India is not a man. So why are you referring to her as him? She isn't trying to get you to gender herself correctly. She is trying because she's male. She's doing it because it's shitty to purposely misgender someone. I'm not sure. What do you think? Because you were attacked by a man. I can't say once because I don't know how long this sexual abuse had been going on. If this was a one time thing or if it was ongoing. I don't know her personal story. So I don't want to be flippant and say, oh, it was a one time thing, because even a one time thing is too much. But I really think that she hates men. That she hates males. That this isn't just an innocent, well, this happened to me once. Because if it was, and she's still suffering from the trauma, she needs therapy. She needs to get over the fact that not all males, not all men are after her and are trying to hurt her and that they are horrible people. Because I'm really thinking that she hates all males. She's really afraid of all males because of what was done to her. And that's a tragic thing because she does need help. She does need therapy for this because not all males see women like that. Not all men see women like that. And the fact that she thinks that all men are like that makes me wonder how she can work with other men. I mean, she's worked with Daniel Radcliffe. Granted, when she did, he was a child. But she's worked with other adult males. I doubt she felt uncomfortable around them. Probably because she never went to the same restroom as them. I don't know. I honestly am trying to understand why she is so hung up on trans women. Because not all trans women are into women. Most probably are straight. They're into men. So, again, why are you so afraid of trans women? Why are you so afraid of males in general? Because that's what it sounds like. Like you are afraid of males. Males scare the crap out of you. Now, maybe when she was doing Harry Potter, the trauma was still buried deep. Because she didn't start going on her anti-trans crusade. But at some point she started to go on an anti-trans crusade. And that is the worst thing for her mental health. I really think this woman needs therapy. Because she has some deep-seated trauma against not just the man who did this to her, but all males. She has extrapolated her experience and decided that all males do this. Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Why else would you feel like trans women are transgressing against you? I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. But anyway, that is all I have on that article. And, yeah. With that, I will see you guys in the next video.